Do you like Multiplicity?
I liked Multiplicity. I honestly did. I mean, I don't remember it a whole lot,
pizza
but
in his wallet, right?
Yeah, because they make a clone of the clone.
Yeah.
So he comes out like a kid, like a little dumb kid.
Yeah.
And there's one that all he wants to do is like bang the real one's wife.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since like it first came out on video.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't me.
How long ago was that? Wasn't me.
96, I'm guessing.
Cody.
Let's look at it. It
96?
came out in 1998.
You were
So that
so
means-
close, Mike. You were wrong, but you were so close.
That means I probably haven't seen it since like 99 tops. Just me, or does it feel like movies used to take a year to come out? Was that a real thing, or was I just impatient?
Some movies still
Some
kinda
movies,
take that time.
yeah, but I don't know. Actually, I'd have to go back and look at like their actual release date. But I can definitely see that. Like, I just don't know if it's a warped sense of time that you have when you're younger.
It might have been.
Yeah.
We
Or
don't get to go to the
maybe
movies that often, so.
the in-home business just wasn't as big as the theater business, so there was no push to put stuff on shelves.
Dude,
at the time.
we were at a rent a movie like fucking twice a week.
Oh no, my family was at Blockbuster or KJ Video or Hollywood Video or whatever happened to be close by at the time every week, especially during summer. During summer, I was able to get a game and a movie, or like a game console and a game, because they rented game consoles there as well.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's because back in the day they were fucking expensive as shit.
Oh, they're still
Well,
fucking
yeah, but
expensive shit. But
my
I mean, you're
movie
an adult,
rental
so.
place rented out
VCRs in the little cases.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a briefcase.
I think Blockbuster did that for a while too. But we had a VCR, so
Yeah, we had a VCR too.
We had a VCR, but not in our room. So my brother and I would.
Renting
Right, right, right.
movies was such
not physically in our room. Like we used the
So my parents-
the
my
living
parents were like,
room.
no, we'll just get them a VCR.
But most of the time we would get this during summer break, so the living room TV would be free, and I remember just like filling up a giant thing of like a movie 32-ounce cup with soda, and making fucking popcorn and just sitting there watching movies.
like renting VHSs was like such a big deal. We bought the Rewinder.
Yeah.
Ours was a car, it was shaped like a car.
Ooh,
And
you're
when
the classy one.
When you
Made
push,
the room noise.
yeah, it made the headlights came on when you.
Did not have that because there was a perfectly functional rewind button on there.
Nah, man, because what you
VCR.
do is
No, because you're supposed to let it wait until it got all the way done, or is that just an old wives' tale?
It's all a wives' tale.
Oh, okay.
But what we used
What?
to do,
I still believe
I
it.
want to, because I've never heard this. What is this?
Growing up, it was, I don't even know who said it or who started it, but in my head, we would if we didn't have it, we would let it go all the way till the end,
It would hit the end of the tape. You'd hear that.
and then you'd rewind it, because supposedly it kept the movies better longer. Because remember, VHSs you could wear out,
Yeah.
and supposedly that kept the picture quality better longer.
it didn't stretch out. It didn't break the connection on the wheel.
Which seems reasonable, but it could also be bullshit.
I just don't. Doesn't seem reasonable to me, I guess.
Not now. Back then, you would have believed it.
Not now when there's digital, you goddamn kids.
Yeah, rewind your shit.
Be kind. Please
No, because
rewind.
what we do is we would get multiple movies, and so when you got done with one,
Yeah,
you pulled out as soon as it's ready to go, throw it in there, throw the new one in, hit the rewinds, rewind or close it so it goes, and then just watch the next movie.
It didn't take that long to rewind.
I know,
It
but
took longer than
30
watching another
seconds.
movie.
But when you every weekend you rented 3 or 4 movies,
You needed to get through all of them so you can go back and get some more.
you were fucking.
You hit rewind. You go to the
It
bathroom.
was a dope
you come
accessory.
back.
And
I'm not
also,
saying
you
it
can't send a
wasn't
whole
bad.
house full of people to the bathroom at once.
Because the video store we
Well, you
went
could.
to,
It'd just be awkward.
yeah, sword fights.
We had 3 bathrooms. I guess you could have almost done it.
Or
2
if-
people go outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's say like,
See?
pee out a window or something.
Yeah.
You know, you had a window that didn't have a screen in it.
They're all high though. Like you'd be awkward to arch it,
Yeah,
and you can get some.
Get a chair.
Ris-
the
Residue.
adults
Get
do
a
that.
chair. Yeah.
Even as an adult, I don't. They're like chest high. It's
Jesus,
weird.
those are high.
What the fuck, man? You grew up in a castle?
No house.
Was it a castle house?
Yeah,
Okay, that makes more sense. But no, like the video store we
you
went
weren't
to.
allowed to pee in the moat either. You gotta.
You had to pee over the
Yeah.
remote. Alligators got ornery.
They get
I
real
bet.
mad. You
Yep.
piss on them.
Yep. The video store we went
And
to,
the Black Knight would laugh at you the whole time.
I think he laughed at you because of the weed little bit.
Small
He's got
dick
a little
joke. Small
dick.
dick joke. Small dick joke.
But the video store we went to was like right catty corner from the apartments we grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So like that place was, it was unlimited.
What?
So you could get 3 at a time.
How much were you paying a month?
It was only like $20.
Oh man, we would have fucking bankrupt
yeah.
a movie place for
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. That was the best part because you could only check out 3 things at a time, but it was
You were within
unlimited.
walking distance, so you
So not just walking distance, but it was like Slurpee distance.
dang.
Because we'd go across the street, we'd get Slurpees, or go to the movie, get movies, and go get Slurpees and come back, or whatever. But it was like right next to the 7-Eleven, so we would just cross the street, boom, hit them both, come back, 3 movies, watch them, go back, 3 movies. Oh, it was fantastic.
So our movie place, rent a movie, was off of 32nd Street in Yuma, which if anyone's in Yuma, you'll remember this. But it was off in the Big Curve Shopping Center. That's what they used to
Oh.
call it. So it was rent a movie. And then right to the left of rent a movie, there's Western Warehouse, which was
Where Mike got his fetish for crocodile
snakeskin
boots.
snakeskin boots. Well, that was obviously all your boots, hats, and fucking cowboy wear and shit. And then Albertsons. So the deal was parents grocery shop and get fried chicken from Albertsons with potato salad. And then we would pick out the movies, and then they'd get one they'd want to watch too. We go home, we eat fried chicken,
Eat potato salad. And watch
eat
movies.
potato salad, and watch movies.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Was it within walking distance to your house?
No, nothing was in walking
Nothing was-
distance of my house.
Yeah.
Nothing,
Like barely, the mailbox is barely walking distance from his house.
bro.
Yeah, because our original place that we got movies from, KJ Video, was the same thing. It wasn't within walking distance, so it was always like once a week we went there.
I remember thinking the people that lived in the apartments next to the Big Curve Shopping Center had it made because they could walk and get chicken and movies
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
all the time.
All the time.
It
You're
wasn't
like,
a special thing.
Dude, I was like probably
wanna
like
grow up to be
11
one
or
of those.
12 before I ever like went to a friend's house because we lived so far away from everyone. We didn't have neighbors. Like there's one house that was like a block down from my house, and that happened to be my uncle and aunt lived there.
I didn't count them.
Yeah, so it wasn't like, oh, my friend's house, you know? And then besides that, you'd have to take a car everywhere. It's way the fuck out there,
We
man.
lived out in the boonies.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
County 14th Street, 6.5 E, way the fuck out there. But it was, what's weird now is
Did
if
you
you,
say 6.5 E?
yeah,
What are you, what are you, a wizard?
Well,
yeah.
that or fucking next door neighbors of Sherlock Holmes.
That's true.
No,
He has a. Okay, never mind.
no, they weren't. But, yeah,
Mm.
that was a long drive. It was like a 15-minute drive just to get to, like, the gas station.
Jesus.
No, that's a lie. I'm making that up. It was like 10 minutes to get to the gas station.
It's
Still.
almost the same.
So you do like 15, 20 minutes to get to Albertsons and rent a movie.
30-minute fucking
15 to 20.
drive tip, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah, man.
I remember when we got the first Hollywood video close to us. It was on Magnolia in Maine, and we went there. And we're like, oh, it's gonna be dope because we saw commercials for it all the time. Like, yeah,
Right.
and we're like, cool. I want to get this. We don't have it,
You're like, what?
but the box is right here. Like, we don't have it though. It has to be behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the box,
It's right there.
That's how our
That's how-
movie places
well,
work.
because with
You'd have the cover art box, and then
And then-
behind it, the big plastic fucking
Yeah, see,
Disney look case with the movie in it.
at Videos R Us, it was just a picture of the movie inside the case sitting there. So if you picked it up, that's what you got. Like, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Here they had the slip case, and then it sat behind. But I didn't know that. I was like, well, I just want this one. So I walked up and like, we don't have that one,
But I have the box case
but
right
it's
there.
right here.
Right.
So like, because if Videos R Us, if you don't see it on a shelf,
They don't have it.
they don't have it. If you see a box, it means they have it. And the guys, oh yeah, we just have to put it in a case. There you go.
I remember at one point I used to think that people who rented movies at Blockbuster was rich, because we never went to the Blockbuster.
We never had a Blockbuster close enough.
Well, the Blockbuster we had was like we always went and rent a movie and it was always fine, you know. But I always wanted to go to Blockbuster because that's where I'd see the commercials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh, that's where the rich people rent their movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dumb thing.
Because you would always think that they always have stuff in stock.
Yeah,
and,
Yeah, the
it
benefit
seemed
they
like
always
this
have
movie fucking utopia.
and video games, like all the video games ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rent a Movie didn't do video games. I didn't know renting video games was a thing until Hollywood Video opened up in town, and I was already in high school.
Yeah, Videos R Us had NES and Super NES games. You
Yeah.
could rent. That was it. And
So
then
I'm
consoles you could
so
rent
by the
too.
time I realized it, we're already into like Xbox, PlayStation, and GameCubes.
Wow.
Yeah,
God, you're so young.
Jeez. I remember I rented NES games from
The
our local
Xbox
places.
didn't come out until I was out of college. Like, I remember the PlayStation 2 was just out when I moved out here.
yeah.
What year did the Xbox get released?
2000. 2003?
I couldn't tell you because I was always
I was
a
just starting college.
console behind because I'd always get Sam's old consoles.
Yeah.
I had an uncle named Sam. He'd buy a console when the new one came out.
2001.
He'd leave that old one at the house.
Oh, I was a senior.
November 15th, 2001.
I think I was a senior. Yeah, I was a senior in high school or something like that.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's
So I was a
eighth
senior
grade.
in high school, then I graduated in 2000.
7th grade. 7th,
You were
6th
in
or 7th,
7th grade?
6th, 7th, 8th, somewhere around there. I
That's
was in junior
awkward.
high. Yeah.
We're gonna be friends with that kid someday.
Could you imagine how weird that would have been? Like, get out of here, you old fucks.
Hey, fat kid. We're gonna be best friends soon. Fucking
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
I was much less fat then than I am now.
PlayStation 2 came out March 4th, 2000. So a year, well over a year before the original Xbox. 'Cause I remember we had to.
I never had a PlayStation, but I had a PS2.
We had to drive back to San Diego to pick up our pre-order for both. I want to say it was the GameCube and
So you guys pre-ordered them
PlayStation.
before you moved,
Yeah.
then moved. And
we had to
so-
go back and get them. Yeah.
Wow, that's awful.
I mean, it was in driving distance, so it wasn't that too bad. You know?
I mean,
Plus, you get to go spend a weekend in
Yeah.
San Diego. We like at that point, like I was still, my tattoo artist was living in still. I mean, obviously was in San Diego. I hadn't found one out here, so like when we went back, we doubled up and I got like tattoos and the GameCube.
jeez.
And we went. I think it's the same weekend I went and we had Deftone tickets too.
Jeez.
We had to make a deal of it, man.
Yeah, apparently. What's everything that we could do all at once? Concert, tattoos, and video games.
I had to make Dustin drive me because I couldn't bend my ankles.
Oh, is that what you got tattooed?
I got the kanji
Yeah.
on them, so I couldn't. It fucking hurt to
Please
bend
tell
my
me that
ankles.
was like the last thing that you did.
in San Diego.
Yeah. Because that, well, just because imagining you're already
Yes.
saying that you couldn't drive with them.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a concert and standing for hours.
That was the next. It was the next day.
That was the next
Yeah.
day. Okay. That'd be awful.
The drive back here was fucking miserable though.
Well, driving
'Cause-
through Arizona is miserable. Just period.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, because GameCube was 2001 as well. So we got
Own
the
that.
PlayStation 2 we bought before moved out, and then we had pre-ordered the GameCubes. We had to go back and get it because the GameCube
that
came
re-
out the week after the Xbox did.
Yeah, because I had the GameCube. I got that later, obviously. And I bought it secondhand, too. I bought it off of one of my friends. I bought it off of Jared. Jared gave me the
The
GameCube.
jewelry guy.
No.
Leto?
No one you know. Jared gave me the
I was
GameCube.
gonna say if you fucking knew Jared Leto, you were fucking letting this show down.
I know, right?
We're not
But
friends
I didn't want to
anymore.
bug him, you know.
Not a name dropper
He
like
sold-
some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
Nudge,
Yeah.
nudge. He sold me the GameCube, 2 controllers. There's like, I want to say like 3 games,
Did you ever get the
and
wave
it had that. It had
Yes,
that
the Wave was
screen
amazing. I loved it so much.
that
Oh, yeah,
went on
the-
top
yeah.
of it, and you could play it portably
Oh yeah, yeah.
for like $100.
Oh dang, was he a drug dealer?
I don't know,
'Cause
man.
that's how you get people addicted.
Did you
to
get
stuff.
pot with it?
No, No.
Are you sure you didn't flip it over where the modem goes and see if it was just in there with a little compartment?
Well, the next person
Right?
got weed then because I didn't ever
that
check.
shit was probably old and gross.
but
Who put paprika in here?
but I remember spending the majority of my money on game rentals at Hollywood Video for
The Nintendo weed.
it. Nice.
That was awesome.
What?
Bird killer out there.
Oh, freaking Oreo.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Michael Keaton movie?
Beetlejuice.
Oh my god, that's difficult. It's difficult because I
What's your
really
second
like
favorite?
Batman.
I mean, oh man, that's tough.
I'm gonna go with Batman and Beetlejuice as number 1 and 2, but I have to look at some
In
of
order?
his- Yeah,
Okay.
I'd have to look at some of his other movies because I know he's done movies that I really like. I just can't remember all of them.
I mean, it's not his movie, but I do like the other guys. I like him in that movie. It was one of my favorite performances.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
brought him back,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Like people were like, "Oh shit!" People forgot he started off like an improv guy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like he was a funny dude, and then he was like, "Oh, Batman," and all these serious.
Well, he did a
roles.
bunch of comedy movies.
That's why people were all pissed about him being
Yeah,
Batman.
And he's like, oh, fucking.
But Clean and
know.
Sober, which I told you earlier, I haven't seen, but everyone points to that. That like people who are like, no, I was pro Keaton because I saw Clean and Sober,
Yeah.
he could do it.
Yep.
But I saw Pacific Heights for the first time, and I was like, oh, this guy's creepy as shit, man. But that one's
So I'm
really
excited
good.
for him to play fucking Vulture.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna be a
looks
good villain.
more creepy in that new McDonald's movie.
Oh, in the Founder.
What a fuckhead in that movie. So
Like Croc, dude, and fucking dickbag.
he's got this like crazy intensity to him.
He used to own the Chargers.
Really, the McDonald's guy?
Yeah.
Damn. Way back when they were in San Diego.
Yeah, way back a while ago. Yeah, he was. I want to say he was the first single person to own them after they moved to San Diego.
Oh, weird.
Because a company owned them before that, if I remember correctly. But then again, I'm not a sports guy, so I could be wrong about that.
You're a San Diego guy, so
Yeah.
we'll take your word for
No
it.
longer have a football team.
You still got a baseball team.
Well, we have the Padres.
So, second favorite Keaton movie?
It's tough, dude. I'm thinking
Herbie.
no.
Herbie Fully
No.
Loaded.
Thinking either
Lindsay Lohan's finest work.
like
Wow.
it's been a long time since I've seen Mr. Mom. I remember liking that movie a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Like if you told me, hey, like which one of these Multiplicity or Mr. Mom would you like better? I think I liked Mr. Mom better.
I think right now in my head I would say Multiplicity, but it's been 100 years since I've seen either one of
I
them.
could be wrong about that too. I might now
Where's
that I'm
that
older.
scene where the guy is acting like he's skating on 2x4s? And I don't remember much about that movie, but I remember losing my fucking shit when I saw, because he did the jump and he leaned forward.
Yeah.
That guy's so good. But yeah, it'd be dope to see him do, like, I'm glad him and like Liam Neeson like recently, and I say recently, in fact, like 6-7 years, I've had like these crazy weird career resurgences. But I think Keaton's
Liam Neeson though, his was bizarre. Because,
people are like, oh, remember Liam Neeson? He's gonna be in action movies now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Rob Roy was so long ago. It doesn't feel like that, but it's like 30 years ago or something. But like that wasn't even an action movie, really. Like it wasn't Braveheart action. There was some in it.
Star Wars was kind of
Yeah, like but that was after. Like that was like when you saw him there, like who the fuck is Liam Neeson?
yeah.
Like,
You kind of forgot about Mexican
wait.
and shit.
Is that Rob Roy? Huh. Okay. Yeah, but then you have the Mexican. Obviously, Batman Begins, and his little appearances in the other ones.
I guess Batman Begins would probably be the start of his resurgence, huh? Because then you had Batman Begins, and then his most notable one after that would be Taken, right?
Yeah.
So that's a bizarre, like, career turn. Keaton came back with, again, thinking about it, it was probably people like the other guys like, oh yeah, Keaton's funny. We forgot Keaton's funny. oh hey, let's put him in Birdman. It was like that next big jump for him, and that there's a big gap between those two movies. But he
Yeah.
was so fucking good in Birdman, and he won everything. People were like, "Oh yeah, we should put him in stuff again." And he started getting work again, and then he did like Spotlight, and that won a shit ton of awards. And now he's gonna be in a Marvel movie. So
Yeah. It's gonna be dope. Oh, they announced Beetlejuice 2. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it's been announced, and
Oh yeah, because on IMDb it just says announced, so it's been announced for a while.
it's been in development heck for a while.
Of course.
that's what happens. You know they were trying to do Beetlejuice in Hawaii. Was like their big ideal.
It could work. I don't really see why not.
It's so strange.
Well, that was in their fucking the Death of Superman Lives documentary.
Yeah, but it's like
Kevin Smith was talking about it because
I can't remember.
Kevin Smith went into Warner Brothers to have a talk about this. Was like while he was doing Chasing Amy, talk about like what do you want to do next, and then they're like, well, we have Beetlejuice goes Hawaiian, and we've been trying to like crack the code on that, and they're like, nah. He was like, I don't want to do
Because in the
that.
cartoon he was always wearing like he would do
The Hawaiian shirts and stuff. Yeah. So they were trying to figure that out for a long time. That's a dope movie too. If anyone listening has not seen the documentary, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, go watch it, man. Find it, track it down. I think we decided it's on Stars or Showtime.
It was on
Showtime. So if you have a Showtime streaming thing, it's on there. It is really, really interesting. And it's about, there were a couple years ago, those pictures of Nick Cage in a Superman outfit came out, and everyone lost their fucking shit. Well, that's what the whole documentary is based on. This dude somehow got interviews with everyone involved in it, except Nick Cage, which would have been really cool to hear from.
He's too busy.
I mean, he's too busy doing
being
fucking
weird Nick Cage stuff.
Yeah. But it actually got me like pretty amped up. I really
kind of wish see it.
Yeah, like, and the picture that goes around is like a picture that doesn't do it justice. Because the suit looked all weird and crazy, but like they spent a lot of time on a bunch of different suits, and the movie was gonna have a premise that doesn't even like superhero movies now don't even dare to get that fucking intricate and like it could have been a hot fucking mess, which I'm guessing it probably would have been, but it would have been an interesting hot mess.
Yeah.
But great stories in there from Kevin Smith and Tim Burton and who's that? The producer guy, the dumb fuck.
Oh yeah, that guy's a fucking lunatic, dude.
How many times in that documentary did he mention or reference fighting or he's a fighter?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you're doing a sit down interview about a Superman movie. Stop bringing up the fact that you're this fucking jiu-jitsu expert and shit and like karate. Yeah, dude, he's a weird fucking dude. But that was super dope.
So, wow, that was a long time. So Star Wars Episode 1, A Phantom Menace, was in 1999.
Yowza.
Batman Begins was in 2005.
Dang.
So, 6 years. I mean, he didn't not work in those 6 years. I mean, he did a lot of movies. Love Actually, Mike's favorite movie with Joe's doppelganger. I mean, Gangs of New York. Martin Luther, he narrated a documentary. He did Kinsey, where he played Alfred Kinsey.
Yeah, but
Kingdom
none of those
of
movies,
Heaven.
he didn't set like the world on fire. Like Gangs of New York was a big deal, but he didn't.
Well, it wasn't really in it that much.
Yeah, like he wasn't a big deal in it. What I'm saying is like, all of a sudden when Taken came out, you're like, holy shit, this movie's dope as fuck. And
otherwise,
he's old as shit.
He just did voices of stuff or like little, like he was in the Chronicles of Narnia movies as the voice of Aslan. But yeah, I mean, Taken was probably the big headliner one for him.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even from then, he really didn't do big movies after that. He was, I want to say cameos, but like, randomized in there. So 2008 would be with Taken brought him to the forefront of being an action guy. But even then, if you look at the list, it's really not like he didn't have a whole lot.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that Taken turned into a franchise and then you got fucking Nonstop, Run All Night,
Yeah.
The Gray.
Battleship, right? Am I right?
Battleship was
Right.
dope.
I love Battleship so much. They
Um,
drift a fucking battleship, bro. Like,
And the bombs look like the little pieces from the game board.
true.
That's such a nice touch. Yeah, so but like I said, he had that weird resurgence, and now he's like an action star. I think that honestly speaks more to the fact that, and I've talked about it before, we suck at producing new movie stars in this country.
Oh yeah, a lot of the big ones that have been coming out lately are from overseas.
Yeah, or they're older.
Liam Neeson's
Americans.
not from here, but whatever.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's because there's not new movie stars. You know what I mean? And so that's why these old timers are, which is great. Like, I like seeing them. I like seeing Michael Keaton and shit now because he's a really fucking good actor. What's the next kind of Keaton movie you want to see? You
I
like?
want to see another Keaton as the main, but I want to see another comedy with him in it. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
headlining.
it's about
comedy.
that time.
Mhm.
You did so good on SNL. Like what, 2 years ago
Yeah,
too?
is it 2 years ago? 2 or 3, whatever it is now. I don't know what year it is. In the last 5, he was on SNL. I know that much.
It was the Birdman time.
So 3 years ago now.
2-3, yeah.
Because it's 2017. Speaking of SNL, I watched the John Cena one.
Dun, dun, dun,
It's
dun.
pretty funny. Because the way they put him in things, like he's just so massive.
Yeah.
But I love the intro where they did the wrestlers, like they did the Waddler,
And Leslie.
and then Leslie Jones was like, "What's your alter ego?" Alter ego? I'm Leslie. I was like, "This is fantastic." But they do like the background, just like John Cena's like intro. But the Waddler was Bobby Monahan.
Yeah.
Like he was wearing what looked like it should have been a kilt because it was plaid, but it was actually a skirt.
Yeah.
And he wore a shirt that was like Roddy Piper and was in
Uh-huh.
that font, but it said the Waddler, and he just he crab walked back. It was so funny. But my favorite was Good Burger came out and hit him with a chair.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I made a mistake." It was pretty funny because the chair just breaks on his back. He's just like turns around, looks at him.
He
He's
takes his jacket off and he's got the tie and everything, but with no sleeves.
like, yeah, the sleeves are torn off, like they're jagged rips. It was pretty funny.
You know what's weird is like randomly John Cena has become like this, like he was good in the Amy Schumer movie. He was good in Sisters. He
Yeah.
was good on
It
SNL.
was hilarious and
He's been like co-hosting the Today Show. Like I don't know if it's the WWE machine is really, but like his first few movies that he did where he was like the lead in it, he was awful in them.
He was awesome in Psych.
But that's what I'm saying though. Now that I don't know if he's been working on it or that experience he's learned from it, or if just the fact that he's not the main
Yeah.
is helping him. I think it's a weird combination of all of them. But like his mainstream star is like bigger now than it ever has been, which is weird because he's been in the game for fucking 13 years now.
Yeah.
So
But the intro to that the sketch before, like the Live from New York thing was really funny because it was a news one and it had Trump's pick for the new head of DEA, and it was Walter White,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and like it was Bryan Cranston with the scruffy beard and the shaved head, and he had the hat on. Shit was so funny, dude. I was like, oh dang, that's fantastic. He's like, I have a lot of experience. I was like,
They did the same thing except with the what was the Department of Homes or whatever it was.
yeah.
But they had the Steve Harvey. It's the Good Burger guy comes out. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like I was like, I didn't even hear that he was in one of those, and like it came on, I was like, oh shit. I was like, did I click on the wrong one? Like this is the Johnny Cena episode, right? Yeah, that shit was hilarious though. And then the dating game show they did on that one, that sketch is pretty funny. It starts breaking down.
I didn't used to like bananas
Yeah,
because
that
they
was-
look too much like wieners.
That was one of the funniest things I've seen since David S. Pumpkins. I
Yeah.
giggled so much at it because it
Pumpkins.
just escalated so much. Like it had that, like it was ridiculous, and then just got more and more.
Uh-huh.
And like Good Burger had like his face painted. Oh, dude, it was so funny. And he's like, "Oh, excuse me, but clearly that's an orange." He's like, Excuse me, you've never seen the orange round banana before? I was like, ugh. Coach of passing. What? Yeah, totally. You're the smartest person I know. It's so funny. You do have to watch that, Joe, if you haven't seen.
I have not seen it yet.
Just watch the clips. But did you watch the whole thing, Mike?
Not all of it, but I watched quite
The
a bit
Les
of
and
it.
Dyke cop show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! So it's they have these two female cops, and their nicknames are Les and Dyke because they're Lesinski and like Dykowitz or something like that. But everyone calls them Les and Dyke, and they obviously dress like that.
Yeah.
And so he's talking to them, and he uses their real names. Like, oh, thanks for using our real names, Cap. He's like, yeah, you broads are pretty good, or you guys are pretty good cops for broads or something like that. And they're like, what? I was like, oh, but he's wearing this like shitty wig, and oh, it's so funny. They keep dressing him in like the worst outfits ever, and he's so big. It's like I guarantee the costume department's like, really? We have to make costumes for who?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and it's funny because like Leslie Jones is a very large woman.
Yeah, she is.
Until she gets in front of John Cena.
Oh, really?
Everybody you think is pretty big until you see him next to John Cena.
People forget because wrestlers are usually next to other wrestlers, and
They're
when you
all
see
big.
them next to normal people, you're like, holy shit.
Well, how tall is John Cena then?
We discussed this before. I
We
think.
have discussed this
Well,
before.
what's the funny one? If you watch Sisters, he shows up and then Tina Fey gets next to him,
Oh, good lord.
and she's belly button height. On
Yeah.
him. I was like, dang.
He's only 6'1",
I'm taller
Tina
than
Fey.
him.
but
Tina Fey's he's massive though. Well, the thing about Leslie Jones when she comes out, because she's the second wrestler that comes out during the intro, and he's like, "Nah, I'm Leslie Jones," and he does that. But she comes up and she's like all mad at him, and she pokes him. She's like, "Oh, you solid as hell!" Like, "Oh, look at you!" Oh, it's so funny.
Leslie Jones is 6 foot, dude.
Yeah, well, it's funny because she's like tall like him, but when you see him, like
She's
see
so
her,
narrow compared to
like,
him, yeah.
like she's a big lady. When you see her next to him, you're like, he is so big. He's so big. It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to pull up a picture just so I can see.
Type in John Cena, Tina Fey sisters, and you should see that picture.
Well,
Mainly
I was
because
looking
they
for
do.
the Leslie Jones
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
And the pictures that they show are Cena sitting down, so I can't really
Oh, gotcha.
get a good idea there. But we will take a look at the John Cena sisters. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this, dude.
That's pretty fucking. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. Plus, the fact that he has the crazy tattoo on there is really funny. But he's amazing in that movie. It just made me laugh so much.
What does he play in that movie?
He plays a drug dealer.
Damn.
Yeah. But he's a morally standing drug dealer.
Oh, so he's a nice guy.
Yeah, it's really funny. But he brings stevia because they want to do cocaine. So he gives him he has stevia too, like part of the package he gives him. And Bobby Monahan's character gets a hold of it and just fucking ape shit.
Uh-huh.
He just sniffs it all and just starts like. At one point, he's painting himself. It's so ridiculous, dude. That movie is so funny.
Nice.
Which
What the hell is going on in this picture?
one?
Trailer from Amy Poehler's and Tina Fey's new movie is everything. It's literally a GIF. I have no clue what's going on. That's what that pulled up. No, that pulled up. It's still. I'm still under Cena.
Yeah,
Sisters.
so that's in Sisters. So that's their neighbor that but basically is like kind of like a romantic thing with them, and he falls on a ballerina trophy, and it goes right up.
Music box.
What? The music box? I thought it was the trophy.
It was a music box.
It might have been. I can't remember. It was basically it was a ballerina.
Yeah.
And it goes right up there. Yeah, and
Jeez.
they were getting romantic, and like he slipped on the hair gel. Was it hair gel or lotion or something that was spilled on the floor?
I can't remember.
And like he lands right on it. Oh, dude, it's so funny. He's like, it's all. She's like, it's all away, and I can barely see the base.
Oh,
Dude, it's so funny. I can't think of that guy's name. I don't even think I know his name, but the actor that plays that guy, their neighbor. But I do recommend Sisters if you haven't seen it. It's pretty funny.
You know what I recommend never ever watching?
Manchester
Manchester
by
by
the
the
Sea?
Sea.
Don't listen to Mike. Go see it.
but it's
No,
a really good movie.
It's
and you
really
should
really
watch it
good, but
once.
don't watch it because you'll want to be sad forever.
It's a really good movie, but don't see it.
But don't see it.
I'm saving you.
No, you're not.
Mike
Alright.
has
All you're
cried for you.
Yeah.
All you're doing is make people like think it's not that good, but also
Oh, it's really good though.
don't go see it.
It's really good, but like if you don't want to cry, don't see it. But if you want to cry, by all means, go watch it and see what you
By all
fucking.
means, go
If you
watch
need
it.
some emotional Drano,
Yeah.
go watch that movie.
Yeah.
If you want to see how much of a horrible person you are, go watch that movie.
It sucks.
Fair enough.
Casey Affleck. Who would have thought Casey Affleck would have been a really good actor too? I didn't see that one coming. Like back in, Ocean's 11.
I don't know.
Would have seen it.
Hey, Mike, do you have a wrestling moment?
Huh?
Now that we're 30-something minutes in.
We're fine.
Do you want to talk about wrestling? Anything?
We already
You
talked about
bitch.
wrestling. We went John Cena.
John Cena.
Joe, you got any science stuff?
We got some science stuff that we can go
Okay, I'm trying to
over.
look stuff up.
Science.
We can start off with the Nintendo Switch announcements.
Science?
Oh,
It's technology.
Switch.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Oh, damn. You just fucked up my head, son.
I did.
Not tough.
Yeah.
Who here is buying a Switch?
Raise the hands.
I'm so upset still.
Why?
Fuck Best Buy.
Why?
Why?
Fuck Best Buy and their dirty buttholes.
Why would they do?
All right, so Thursday night when they announced the Switch,
Thursday night.
I went over and I looked at both Amazon and Best Buy, and they both said coming soon. So I was like, all right. And I read online that official pre-orders will start at 8 a.m. our time here in Arizona Friday morning.
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool, because that's 10 o'clock Eastern, at 7 o'clock, on Pacific. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll just 8 o'clock. I'm gonna wake up early before I go to work, or I'm gonna go to work later. But I was like, I'm just gonna pre-order right then and there, right? So I get up, 7:30. I'm on the computer. I got 2 screens up. I'm refreshing both Amazon and Best Buy, waiting. Amazon never fucking showed it. Never ever. It just said never, not available. Still not available. 8 o'clock comes along. 8:01. I'm refreshing Best Buy. Crazy. Pops up, says it's available pre-order. I click on it. I add that to my cart. I add the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Master Edition. I was like, boom, hit it, boom, good. I got it. Get the email. All confirmed. A couple hours later, I get an email saying, oh, we're sorry, we actually oversold and yours was unfortunately canceled.
Wow, they oversold within seconds.
Minutes. My order went through at 8:03 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like,
So from 8:01 to 8:03, that's when you placed your order.
Yep.
They sold out.
yep. By the time I'm processed, because their website just fucking.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It wasn't too bad. It was just it just took a while for it to load the cart and everything. But I went through the whole process, and it's like, yeah, you're good to go. Got the email later. It's like, oh no, it's your order unfortunately was not done in time or something. I can't remember what it was. And it's like, I was like, oh cool, I'll at least get the Zelda one. Boom, email came. I was like,
Oh, they canceled
Both of
Zelda
them.
as well?
yep, both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, you miserable fucks.
And Amazon still never got a...
Amazon. I never saw people. I know people who ordered it from Amazon, but I never once saw Amazon say it. As I read online that Amazon sold out the night before.
Really?
Yeah.
So they just went pre-orders the night
Yep.
before.
Yep. They just put them up, and then once they ran out, and they never posted it. I'm hoping both somewhere else because everybody's sold out now of their.
Yes.
But it's so far ahead of the release date. I'm sure they're going to release more to those places. I should be able to get one.
Once they can guarantee that they're going
Yeah.
to get more initial day shipments.
Because I think
yes.
that's what happened is they're like, oh, we only want to have so many, to guarantee their initial orders or whatever, or spec orders.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the popularity of that it's gonna be because Nintendo consoles always have really high popularity.
At the beginning, yes.
Yeah, the promise of something new and great.
Well, because there is a lot of technology that's going into this, especially the new controllers themselves.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going against your bringing up the Switch. It's just I was thinking science, but I'm down with technology too. I think there's a lot of awesome stuff they're doing with it, and the fact that it's changing from what they were doing, what they were doing with their past consoles, and making it this crazy portable but home console thing, which I didn't. When I remember reading the rumors about it, I didn't understand it. I was like, "How's that possible?" And now I see it, I'm like, "Oh, this makes perfect sense."
But from what I understand as well, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I never actually got a chance to watch the presentation that they did. When you dock it in the docking station, it doesn't increase the power of it. It just
It's just,
It's
the
just a
dock
dock.
is literally just a dock. Yeah,
It's just a dock.
It gives you the ability to hook it to other things.
Right.
Gives you an HDMI output basically,
Right.
and a place to charge it essentially.
Right.
But
Well, there's 3 stages to it, isn't it? There's a tabletop
So-
version, a version to plug into your TV, or so it'd be a version to plug into your TV, a tabletop version, and a mobile version.
Sort of. Yeah.
Yes. So the tabletop version, like
It's
the
literally just a
kickstand one,
kickstand out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is the same as the portable one. So if you want to play multiplayer,
I thought that screen's bigger. I thought there's a smaller
no,
screen.
No, they're all the same
okay.
unit. So it's like the dock is literally you take the tablet and you dock it in there, and it puts it up to the TV so you
Yeah.
can see on a bigger screen. But it does not increase the power of the unit at all.
Which is what people were speculating that.
Yes, that was
you
it
know.
would be a booster to have a benefit there, but
Right, because they were. The people are always hoping that the next Nintendo
we'll catch up to
will catch
the
up with
other
the
consoles.
Xbox and the PlayStation. In this case, I don't think that this one does. I think
Not even close. No.
it runs off of the NVIDIA Tegra
Yep.
graphics processing unit, which are pretty good. They're actually in a lot of stuff. Like the NVIDIA has them in their own
The Shield and stuff.
The Shield. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, and also I think Razer has a pretty decent, or had a pretty decent tablet. I want to say it was that incorporated the Tegra processors into it. What is your opinion of the controller itself? It looks like something that could be a little awkward to play with, but it does separate.
So the
And
the
you have-
Joy-Con, as
Yeah,
they
the
call it.
Joy-Con. You have the individual controls like you do with the Wiimotes right now.
Yes. And the
And-
cool thing is you don't have that sensor bar. It's all built in.
It's
through
all
the
built into
controllers.
the controllers. Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting the way they do it. It's a very ingenious way too. Like, I remember when they first officially announced it in November, I think is what it was,
Yeah.
That
It was,
little
it was a
thing?
while ago. Yeah.
or October, whatever. I mean, it was months ago now, but I was like, okay, that's interesting, but like no one really knew because just the commercial they showed, like the little blurb, you saw people using it like a little mini controller.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Like it does split in half, and you can use it as like if you're using
Yeah,
it.
they're like, oh, play with
portably,
your
you
friend,
know?
and it snapped off, and then
Yeah.
gave it to your friend, and you had these like little tiny original Nintendo.
Yeah,
like,
basically it just
joysticks.
looked like basically like looks small like the original NES, but it had
Yeah.
the button configuration of like a Super NES where they added the X and Y buttons.
Yeah.
and it actually has shoulder buttons on it too, which is really cool.
I will say, as far as that's concerned, when you take them apart and you look at them, they look really small, but they have the add-on with the straps that
Yeah.
looks like it increases it just enough to be actually usable by somebody with ginormous mitts like me.
Yes, and it adds it basically makes the shoulder buttons a
pass-through
little more-
buttons. Yeah.
makes it a little more usable because they look pretty small in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the cool thing about them is they have like the controllers have a lot of technology in them just alone. They have a crazy, really sensitive IR camera in them.
Yeah, what was up with the? I saw a little bit of that part of the presentation. It was like you could
It
map
senses,
your.
yeah. So basically, no, it doesn't. You don't map it. It can sense shapes using it.
That's
so
what it was. Yeah,
if
rock,
you,
paper,
like rock paper
scissors.
scissors instead
Yeah.
of having like hold it a different way, like you do. Like if you ever played, I can't remember what the game is on the Wii, but there's a rock paper scissors like type thing where you have to basically hold the controller in a certain way, and it was super inaccurate because it was either upright to the left or right and then flat. Like
Yeah.
as rock was sideways, scissors was upwards, and paper was flat. But it's like your hand movements had to be perfect for it. This apparently is so like the IR camera in it is so good. They basically reversed it. So instead of having to have an IR camera that senses the controller senses the movement in its physical space, but then the camera in it will sense objects in front of it.
Yeah.
But it's shapes and not physical objects. Like if I'm looking at a cup, if I point at a cup, if it looks like the classic shape of a cup, it may guess what it is. But they can keep pushing that info in, but it's and it doesn't do it in the controller, which is really cool. It actually pushes it through the console.
Right. Which
It's just the
makes sense.
camera senses it and sends it. I'm guessing some form of Bluetooth to the console, and then that's how it plays. That's how it uses it. But it can actually sense your hand in the shape of a rock, scissors, or paper.
Right.
And then do that. But like the big thing is it can you can use it to point at stuff to like different weird things. But they use paper rock scissors as the example.
They use paper rock scissors as the example. Yeah, and it's still one of those things that I'd have to see in order to really understand what they're trying to get at
and
with
why.
it.
Yes. Me
Yeah.
too.
They must have some idea of some game that they're making, or maybe it's even baked into the Legend of Zelda that you do something with
They said
this.
Legend of Zelda has no
Or that's right,
physical
because the
control.
Legend of Zelda is more like a port over from the Wii, because it was
Yes.
originally being developed for the Wii U.
Yep.
Okay,
So now it's
and
on
that,
both
that
of
also
us, yeah.
explains, because from what we read earlier with the Legend of Zelda, it's not actually going to support 1080p,
Yep.
which I'm pretty positive this game console should be able to push out 1080p for the most part.
Yeah, no one's. I mean, that's the first. The one everyone was worried about was Zelda
Yeah, and that one is 900p.
at the highest. Yeah.
Yeah, at the
Otherwise,
highest.
it plays back on the tablet. It plays it back at 720p because
Right,
the
because
screen
the
is.
tablet is.
But when it's
and that's
docked,
gonna-
it has the ability to go 900p.
Yeah,
But
plus
anybody, I mean, any newer TVs are going to be upscale anyways, so you're not going to notice a difference.
right.
Um,
What's your opinion on the fact that they're not including the rechargeable Switch adapter inside? And
Garbage,
the
first off.
fact that if you want a second controller, second whole setup, that it's $80 total.
yeah, and that $80 does not come with the charge base. It comes with a regular.
Just a regular click-in thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Which is just basically a slide, like 2 rails with handles.
yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna accessorize the shit out of this, and I think they're too expensive for the most part. Because $90 for the charging thing for the controllers is stupid.
Was that the what? Yeah. What was the price for the
$90 just for the charging unit.
Just for the charging unit?
Yeah. $90.
90. Why the fuck? There's got to be something else in it, because batteries aren't that much
No,
for
I have no
rechargeables.
idea.
I bought the Xbox one for like $20-$30, something like that.
It's stupid. I don't know, but I mean it's just a weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing to do. It's just like they're first party, so you know someone else is gonna make one.
Yes.
But is it gonna be as good? Because Nintendo, the one thing Nintendo has always had is solid hardware.
Oh, solid.
Their hardware's
Yeah.
always really good. All versions of the Game Boy, the DS, obviously I include in that. Any portable one they have. The Wii and the Wii U were solid. Like fucking the gamepad for the Wii U is fucking garbage. That's because the battery sucks dick.
But still, the construction of it was solid.
was, yeah. I mean, it was lightweight, but it was still pretty sturdy.
Mhm.
It was a little too big for being a controller someone wants to use for hours on end.
Right.
And the battery's not lasting here long enough. And then the Switch, the problem with the Switch is going to be is people aren't going to use it portably enough. They're going to leave it docked, which is going to overcharge the battery, and it's eventually just going to burn the battery down, so you won't have a great battery life out anymore. That's just going to happen. So is it going to be removable? Hopefully.
Right. Another question.
But the next accessory after that would be a Mophie style case for the Switch tablet.
Right.
So when you pull it out of the dock, you put it in and expand your battery more, but has a spot for the controllers to keep them charged up, or at least charge them up if you need be.
I'd imagine that you could possibly charge the controllers through the system itself.
Well, if you attach
when you
them
dock
on the
it,
side,
yeah.
they don't. As far as I read, they don't charge. They run off of that, so the battery doesn't run down. But they
so
run
don't
off
charge.
of the
So
tablet,
how do you
yeah.
charge them then? I haven't seen anything about ports or anything.
So you dock them to the unit when the unit's plugged into the dock. Like, so you attach them to the sides of the Switch
Oh,
tablet.
okay, that's what
when
I
you
meant.
Dock
Yeah.
it charges them
Yeah,
that way,
so you dock it like
but if
that.
you portably, what I read is they don't charge them. The controllers don't charge on the unit.
Okay.
They have
But
to be
I'm saying if you had like a Mophie style case, that it could
Yeah.
possibly charge the controllers as well. Okay, that's what I was getting at. Okay.
But the nice thing though is the controller that you get with it. I think they call it the Joy-Con dock. I think is what they call it. The controller you get that slide the Joy-Cons on when you're playing at home has a power port on it. So you plug that in and
so
it
you
charges
can
the controllers through
classically
it.
plug it in. Yeah.
Yes, so you can charge those while you're using them that way, but it does not hold another charge. The charge controller has an extra battery in it, so when you dock them on, it charges them wirelessly. It charges them through the unit without having to be plugged in.
Right.
If I read that correctly, and it could be, again, we don't have full details yet of anything because Nintendo's website has not been updated as far as I know. But not all the full details of everything's come out. Like box art's slowly coming out for the games that are releasing on launch day. Like we just got physical box art for everything just like the other day, like a bunch of stuff, and then some of them doesn't even have it.
Right, and I'm trying to remember what are we looking for or are looking at for launch titles on this thing. I remember
Breath of the Wild,
yeah,
ARMS, 1-2-3 or 1-2 Switch. What's that race game? Ride Out, something like that. It's the F-Zero type looking game.
But what third party games are we getting? Like quality third party games.
Well, actually, Skyrim was announced for launch.
It was. So that's a good example of a quality.
Was that one launch or not?
But it was at least announced.
It was announced, but I don't know if it was launch title. But they're going. Nintendo
is actively going to try.
They're going to try, but again, they haven't even released all of them yet. But if the last 2 releases of a Nintendo console are any telling sign, they're going to have like 5 launch titles.
Okay.
So those games are going to go quick. At least one of them is going to not be worth the money, which is that 1-2 Switch, because I think it's like listed online at $40, and it looks like it should be like a $10 or $20 game at the most.
Ouch.
Because it's a party game. It doesn't really have. It's not even a lengthy party game like a Mario Party.
Is anything coming with it?
No. So as of right now, no listed bundles at all. So there's no game, which is the same. Like, not even what happened. If I'm not mistaken, not even what happened with the Wii and the Wii U, because they both came with the Wii Party.
Yeah.
Game, if I'm not mistaken.
They came. I know when we bought the Wii, we got the party games thing.
Yeah, had like the tennis and all that shit.
Yeah,
in it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I just can't remember what it was called. Yeah,
I want to say it was Wii Party, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Wii. Or no, maybe it was Wii Party. But we also got like I think Wii Sports or something.
Yeah, Wii Sports was the other one.
Also came with it. Yeah.
So
as there are 3 of us here, and you're the one that's already trying to actively get one. What is the what's the draw for you to get it? Zelda.
And once they showed that fucking Mario game,
the weird people
Mario
people
Odyssey
one. Yeah,
dude, where he's in a real city and all of a sudden he goes through like a sewer and he's like, or like a hole in the wall or whatever, and he was like in a like Mario world. Is like, they gave me, I don't know what the fuck that deal with the fucking hat with the eyeballs on it is.
Yeah,
but it looked gorgeous. It's in the realm of Mario 64, what's a 3D-ish run around free open world type thing, and like it looked
for some
amazing.
reason takes place in New Donk City.
Yeah, like it was weird. Like he's at one point he's like Assassin's Creed style, like running on top of a building, like jumps off. Like,
he's just jumping off of buildings.
Yeah,
and he's stabbing Goombas.
No, I don't think he's stabbing him. I think he was gonna stomp on him. But
okay.
Like it had real looking people in them. It wasn't like weird. Like wasn't like Mii's running around.
No.
I'm not, again, if you don't know, when Nintendo Mii's are your avatars, not like me. Like it's not just a bunch of Codys.
It had
Mii's,
it's just a bunch.
Which
of
it would be amazing, and right. I would want royalties. Actually, I wouldn't even take this. Give me a Switch, god damn it. They it looked like, I'm not gonna say photorealistic, but like damn fucking close to like really good looking,
more
real
realistic
life.
Than really any other first party Nintendo game ever tried.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've seen.
It wasn't stylized. It looked like real, like legit buildings. It looked massive, and then all of a sudden he's in what looked to be Mario-esque worlds all the time. And at the very end, when he popped up, he lands and his hat jumps up a little bit and has weird eyes on it. I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Yeah.
But I'm in. And then I find out it comes out in holiday 2017. I was like,
oh, we're still polishing things.
Cool. So I may be able to get a Switch by then. That'll be good.
I may be able to pre-order one by then.
There's a new Bomberman game coming out for it called Superman Bomber R, or Bomberman R, I think is what it's called. So maybe it'd be Superman
Bomberman?
Well, it's Bomberman R. I don't know why the R, but that's what it is.
Bomberman.
And there was a Bomberman S before, but if you know your alphabet, it's not exactly the best.
We're gonna base these off the alphabet. We're gonna start at A. Nope.
No, when we say base, we're not in order. We're just gonna pick letters. But I don't even know if that has a release date yet either. I was gonna pull it up right now while you were talking, and then you asked me a question.
Well, actually, I was gonna ask Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
You aren't as sold on getting the new Nintendo Switch. What would you have to see in order to sway yourself in order to get one?
Honestly, it's just gonna be time. You know, like I'm not super excited about it. I don't really care that much. So if a year goes by and people are still digging it and they're pumping out cool looking games for it, then I'll probably, grab it on that first price drop that it does. But other than that, there's really nothing, like, unless something crazy comes out and they announce like this holy fuck crazy amazing Mario game is like the best Mario game ever. Or if they bring something new to like a game that I haven't seen before, but I don't know what that would be to sway me at this point.
Okay.
Cody?
So officially announced so far, there are 5 titles coming on launch day.
All right.
Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
The Breath of the Wild. Skylanders Imaginators. Super Bomberman R. 1-2 Switch, and Just Dance 2017 are the 5 titles that'll be on launch.
Okay.
So not great support.
They're all first party titles too, right?
No, they are not.
No.
So Skylanders
Oh, that's right. Skylanders is not.
is not. This may be a Nintendo Switch only version because I've never heard of Imaginators.
No.
But it's definitely not a first. It's not a. It may be an exclusive title, but it's not a first
Right.
party. 1-2 Switch is a first party. Just Dance is a Ubisoft game. Super Mario Man R is.
I think that's a first party game.
Is that
I've only
made by
seen-
Rare? No,
No.
because that would have been the Rare collection. I should probably look that up. But then the next category here says March/Spring, which is funny because the first title they name is and there's Arms, which is the one that has the springy
Yeah,
arm.
the springy.
I thought that was clever. Spring of 2017. The only thing on this list, on this next group of games that actually has a release title, is what Nintendo does best is relaunches a game that we've already played before with new stuff, but it's not really new stuff, which is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is basically the same Mario Kart 8 that came out with the Wii U and the DS, but with all the extra stuff added in that they released later, all in the release right then and there. So which is cool, don't get me wrong, that's pretty rad, but it's again a game we've already played,
Yeah.
so nothing new. Arms has been Heroes, which looks really funny. I Am Sensuna sounds like a Japanese game for sure, but
Probably is.
since it's region free, it doesn't matter. Puya Puya Tetris.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is other than Tetris.
Hawaiian Tetris.
And then Snipper Clips Cut It Out Together.
It's a hair kind of game.
I was hoping it was a Joey from Full House game,
Oh,
Nice.
oh,
but
Dave Coulier is
yeah,
making a
like-
comeback.
I don't think that's what it is.
Oh,
And then Summer has 2 listed, which is terrible if that's your summer release one, because Summer's routinely is a fucking terrible release window for any games it is. Movies, it's fucking plethora.
yeah.
Rhyme, which is RIME, so I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I think it's Rhyme, and Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 was obviously like their big multiplayer one, and this one looks, I had never played the first one. The first one looks incredibly fun, but I never bought a Wii U, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
This one's a little better and bigger. And then there's a ton of other games that are coming out, like to be announced, listed as 2017, and then have like fall or holiday. But it's only new titles on there are, where'd it go? Is Sonic Mania, which isn't out yet for anything. Super Mario Odyssey and Siberia 3. Everything else is either something that's been out already or is getting like the Saiga 5 complete, which is already out. FIFA 2017. Fire Emblem Warriors is a new one because it's a redone one for it, but that's a to be announced, so it's not even maybe not get this year. There's Minecraft Story Mode, Rayman Legends, which is already out. NBA 2K. I'm gonna guess 17 since it says 2017 is the release window. There's Skylanders Imaginators. Again, I don't know why it's listed there twice because it's listed as a launch title, but here it's listed as to be announced. So I don't know what the fuck that means. Skyrim, which by the way is the original release of Skyrim, not the definitive collection. Yeah, way to go, fucking Nintendo. It can't handle that. It can't do the graphics upgrade that it was on the release one for the PlayStation or for the Xbox One and the.
But I
and the
wonder if it'll
PlayStation
still
4.
at least include the content.
I don't know. It just everything I can see just lists Skyrim and that's it. It's just a Skyrim Switch. So it's super dumb. Steep, which is already out. Ultimate Street Fighter 2, which is the one that they just announced at Gamescom as being a re-release and redone one. So nothing new. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I think technically is new. But other than, there's really not anything real big so far. But again, this is just the stuff that we know of.
Yes.
This isn't third-party stuff that hasn't been officially announced, because there's a lot of games coming out after the console comes out. But I don't think it's getting a Ghost Recon Wildlands. I don't think it's getting any of those big games that are coming to the major 2 consoles. So it'll be interesting to see.
All right.
Yeah. So they're not steering away from. They are doing mature games because Skyrim is a mature game.
Right, and that's
So-
kind of been their stigma in the last two consoles is that
Incorrect. There's been
no from gamers' perspective, one reason
Yes.
why a lot of gamers don't buy it is because they always viewed it as the quote unquote kiddie console
Yep.
that
that's true.
was only good for family stuff, even though they did have games on there that were more mature.
super fucking violent.
Mad World comes to mind.
Mad World, No More Heroes,
No More Heroes.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there definitely was content on there, but it was also
Underpowered enough to play those other games that
exactly,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
It didn't. They had versions of Call of Duty that came out for the Wii. I think the Wii U had Black Ops 2. I think came out on that.
I think it was Black Ops 2.
So it had mature titles, but it was like a dumbed down version of all of them, especially
Yeah.
the Call of Duty one. That was, I want to say it was World at War that came out on the Wii, and it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I played the demo. I remember playing the demo at Best Buy, and it was on rails. I was like, oh, you guys are terrible at this.
Yeah.
Because their control schemes are fucking awful. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on. I'm excited for Zelda for sure, because I'm definitely not buying a Wii U for Zelda,
Right.
because that gamepad's terrible. And
At this point, nobody should be buying a Wii U when
No.
you're going to be able to get that Switch with the way better looking,
yeah,
at least more functional
controller.
controller.
Yeah, I mean, I will probably never. I may try the motion stuff, but I'm not gonna buy 1-2 Switch. I'm not gonna buy ARMS.
Mm-hmm.
ARMS looks like an very interesting game, and it uses the Joy Cons with their motion controls very accurately, because you can actually like curve your punches left or right when you swing. But it's just that's not. I mean, I was never into the motion control games because the controls are never that great.
Mm-hmm.
This one, they say this one's better, but it's just another gimmick.
It's one of those things that
I'm listening.
Shut up.
apparently Siri's listening. She's always listening.
Yeah, no shit. What'd I say? They even sound like Siri.
I don't know. Even that,
She's got
'cause it's
lonely
also,
over there.
hey, Siri.
Nope.
No, because I spaced it out enough. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Hey
what-
Siri. Oh, there it went. Okay.
Yeah.
I must have said something that sounded like that. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, for me, really, it's 2 games, potentially a third game with Superman or Super Bomberman R.
The pirate version.
R. It's Superman R.
Superman. Yes, Super Bomberman.
But I mean, even if they announced those bigger games like Ghost Recon Wildlands, I wouldn't be buying it on the Switch.
No, because you obviously know it's not going to be
Yeah.
as good looking. Even if it's going to be totally functional, it's not going to be as good looking
and
as.
the other thing too is I don't believe, even though they said, I don't believe their multiplayer or online experience is nearly as where PlayStation and Xbox are at.
No, I don't think so either.
But also, I'm
Because they
pretty
are
sure
they are nixing. They are getting rid of the whole console code thing.
bullshit and actually going to user gamer tag type stuff.
Yes.
And they're doing a paid online service a la Xbox Live, PlayStation
Right.
Plus. And granted, they probably need that to fortify the infrastructure needed to play multiplayer games. I just don't know if
I think
I want to pay for an extra service on a console and that I feel multiplayer would be more of like maybe Mario Kart Online,
right.
but I'm probably not going to buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for it. I'd wait for a newer one.
This is actually probably the system that is going to try and benefit the most from having an online component, because there is no physical disc media.
It's
to
all
go with
it's all
It's all
solid state
media cards, but
But the other bad thing too is the only listed size available console right now is 32 gigabytes, because when you buy, like, unlike Xbox and PlayStation, your games saves don't go to the console, they go to the cartridge, the diskette or
yeah,
memory
so
card,
that you
whatever
can
you call
move
it.
it from different console
Yep.
to console
So
and still
so I
have
can
it.
bring it over. But the thing about it is, like, if you have a digital store, where does that go?
And I thought, I was trying to find it in this article, but I couldn't see it. I thought that it said that it's somewhere that it supported external, flash media.
So on the listed plugins, there's a USB port on the dock, but that means
You couldn't take it portable.
you'd have
with
to
you.
move if you wanted a game that you bought through the virtual console, which is their online thing. You'd have to move it from your external drive to your internal drive.
And that's not exactly grab and go.
Yeah, like, oh, hold on, let me down this real quick.
Yeah. I mean, granted,
You know?
the transfer speed on it could be incredibly fast, but it's still like, oh, I want to go, I need to go.
But that's also based on the drive you have plugged in.
Right.
Because if you
Well,
have
that's
a
what I'm
rotary
saying.
drive,
Obviously, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be extremely fast, but it's just not. It's not grab and go fast.
yeah.
It's. I have to plan this. I have to boot this up. I have to turn this on. I have to get this going. Blah 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 blah. Okay, now it's transferred and let's go. And heaven forbid, oh shit, I filled up my memory. Let me get rid of something.
Yeah, and then
I
have to move this over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was looking at it. Nowhere that I saw, because there's no like hardly any details on external websites other than the Nintendo's website.
Right.
But there's no mention of a memory card slot on the console, so you can't even expand the memory that way. So, again, if you wanted to go portably, you'd have to have something that plugged in through the USB Type-C on the bottom of it, which then means you have something dangling or hooked to the portable console, which then just makes it even that less portable.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see, but because they announced way before everything came out of the Switch, when actually announced the first official view of the Switch was that trailer they did with the preview of the games and stuff. They announced shortly after that they're going to bring GameCube games to the Virtual Console, which is yet to happen because the Wii and the Wii U could play the GameCube discs. This
Yes.
does not have a disc drive,
Right.
so you can't play those. Which means you also can't. By the way, not backwards compatible again. So you can't play those Wii U games, whatever, fine. But you then can't play those GameCube games, so they're bringing GameCube games to the Virtual Console. I think they said for the Switch, but it might just be Virtual Console in general. So you can buy those older games you may not have had.
I would hope
those
that
ones,
the
but-
Wii and the Wii U would be powerful enough to be able to run those.
Oh, they should be. I'm just more of getting. I don't know if they're gonna flush out that store more than it already is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would want to play. I've always wanted to play the original Zelda, and like Ocarina of Time I could play on my 3DS, but
Yeah.
even like Link to the Past, portably.
Yeah.
So bringing that over from the Wii and the Wii U Virtual Console, plus having the GameCube games like Crazy Taxi, portably.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about last night the Star Fox game,
Which would be dope.
Rogue Squadron, like that stuff. Having it, I'm probably never gonna play it portably. Really, maybe when I first get it, I'm like, hey guys, look what I got. But I'm gonna play it at home. But being able to play those again would be super dope without having to, find where the fuck my discs are at.
Right.
I don't have any idea where the fucking those things are anymore. Probably in that closet or some other closet in this fucking house. Many boxes of shit everywhere. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty. That right there, if they launch it on release date, like on March 3rd, hey, GameCube games are available. Yeah, I'll be dropping a pretty penny or two to buy some fucking GameCube games again on the Virtual Console for sure.
Nice.
Plus, hopefully, I can remember my login for my Wii and be able to get all my Virtual Console stuff pushed over.
Nope, you're not gonna remember.
Probably not. No.
Probably not.
I don't even know my login for it. Like, I haven't had my Wii hooked up in years.
Yeah. Same here.
Like, I would have to find the fucking the sensor bar still again. Like, probably not gonna do that. But yeah, interesting. Plus, we might be able to get a real Pokemon game on a console.
Imagine porting like the Niantic
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go over. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
That would be dope. If they
Although I
combine
don't
the
know
two
if they,
somehow.
There's no GPS.
yeah, there's no
or
GPS built in.
You need
Well, no, but it
Wi-Fi.
could be like a bonus thing on a console game. They could import what you have caught in the real world and give you like bonus characters or something like that.
Import the
console
Pokemon
game.
that you've trained and whatnot
Yeah.
into the game.
and move into like a Pokemon game.
like Skylanders did.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, they could do that totally.
But I mean, that's the one thing that Nintendo has never really done is have a real Pokemon game on a console. It's always been It's always been on their
They're
portables.
Yeah,
Like they had Pokemon Snap, which was kind of cool, and they had Pokemon Tournament.
Pokemon Snap was dope as fuck.
yeah,
Tournament?
Pokemon Arena or tournament or something like that.
That
but,
was fun because it was a battle game, but it wasn't like the adventure game like the console, like the portables always had.
But it's funny you mentioned Pokemon Snap because that type of game versus what the actual games were on the Game Boy, it seemed like they were reversed, where Pokemon Snap was about going out and just taking pictures, and the regular Pokemon was an actual game. You would think that the actual game would be something more stationary, whereas Pokemon Snap would be much more, well, like Niantic thing where you're running around and
You're actually moving the physical
moving
world.
the physical world and actually taking pictures and stuff like that. But, you know, whatever. It worked. People bought it, stuff.
It's true. I enjoyed Pokemon Snap for quite a bit. The real problem with it is it just got boring after a while.
I'd imagine, yeah. I never played it. I never bought it. I wasn't a big Pokemon person. Like, my brother was huge into the cards and the anime. So, I've seen all that stuff. I've seen the movie in theaters because my brother really wanted to go see it.
Everybody cried.
I didn't cry.
Liar.
I made sure my brother got a Mewtwo Pokemon card, though. Because
you went to AMC.
Yeah, because we went to the AMC.
It's the only place you could fucking get them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Try to watch that Pokemon cartoon and I can't because Ash's voice is way too fucking whiny.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing is, like,
Watch it.
I don't think we talked about it on the show, but I was just introduced to a thing called Pokemon Generations.
What?
Pokemon
YouTube?
Generations is a legit animated, like, Japanese anime cartoon on YouTube. Very well animated and doesn't have whiny little voices, but it's like if you ever watch anime, they're they're adult cartoons essentially. It's not nudity. I mean, some of them nudity, but this one has actual physical violence in it. So like the Pokemon are battling each other. They take physical damage.
Mm-hmm.
They show scuffs and bruises on their bodies, and then they fall down, defeated and like things like that. Like it's crazy. But the animation is tremendous in it. Like it's very. I haven't looked it up because I only watched a couple episodes of it. They're real short. They're like 11, 12, 13 minutes long each.
They're very YouTube.
Yeah.
I haven't watched them yet, but yeah, they're very YouTube length.
But the art style reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist. That style
Right.
of done with. There's this one guy has a beard and like all you can see is like you don't see his mouth, you just see it move when he talks. It makes me laugh. But it's very Pokemon style where like crazy hair and weird floating particles of clothes and stuff like that. But it follows the stories of the games versus the story of the cartoon, the classic Pokemon cartoon, because that one's based around Ash and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
This is based around Gary, who is the Pokemon trainer Red,
Yeah.
and Blue, which is essentially Ash, but in this it's not. They don't call him Ash. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's very well done. If you like anime and Pokemon, I highly recommend it if you haven't ever seen it before. I didn't know it existed until Shaq was watching. I was like, damn, it looks like Pokemon. He said, it is. Wait, no. I said it looked like Pokemon. He said it is. So I was like, I don't think you're paying attention to what I'm saying, Shaq. Like it looks like Pokemon.
Pocket monsters in Japan.
Yeah.
Over here we call it Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, they call it Pokemon too, but because they're like abbreviating shit over there. But yeah, no, it's tremendous if you haven't seen it yet. Boom.
One day, get to it.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Ba-da-bum. But I want to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild like yesterday.
Do it.
I can't.
Do it now, you pussy.
Road trip, going to wherever that's being developed. We're going to play it.
Okay, well, that was weird.
What?
A new story just showed up about something called Fire Emblem Heroes. And Fire Emblem games coming to Nintendo Switch, 3DS, and mobile.
Mobile? Wait,
yeah.
what?
Well, I think we're going to get a Fire Emblem game on the iOS devices.
Can I get like an actual Zelda game?
Oh, God, I fucking wish so. I wish.
I'd buy. Would you?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase the question because it's going to be a multi-step question, multi-part question.
I would buy any NES game on the iPhone.
Okay, so that's part of it. Next part is they come out with a new. Well, okay, we'll start out with that. So, like, we go the original Legend of Zelda. How much are you willing to pay for that? It's the full game
On your iPhone?
on your iPhone or iPad, which would be probably more fun. Would you pay? Because Mario, the Mario game was what, $10?
$10. Mario Run was
but
$10.
here you're getting the full on
Legend
of Zelda. You're getting the original one.
Okay.
And it might be redone for better graphics and whatnot like that.
It doesn't even have to be, really.
Well,
as long
I'm
as
just
it
saying
fits on my phone.
I'm just saying that it does. It's not it looks better initially. Just uses the power of your iOS device.
Control scheme is probably my number one thing.
Right. So control scheme, I would say initially would probably be, unfortunately, be the on-screen buttons and controllers, but it works with those game docks.
I would totally buy one of those too. Those controller
like
things.
we saw over at the Apple Store.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I would buy that, but I would.
Let's take it a step further. Nintendo decides to release a first-party controller for it, or the Joy-Con works with the iPad.
Well, iPad. I have a Pro, so it'd be pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, but you can use the actual in the controller.
Yeah, set my iPad up and use it like this. Yeah, for sure. If that was a thing, Foshizi, I would definitely buy that. I would pay you price wise.
You'd be willing to go $14, let's say, for
easily. If it was $14, if you said $14.99,
yeah. Yes,
I would buy that. I spent $10 on Mario Run. It's fun. I suck balls at it because I don't play it enough. Because it has so much more than what people think it has in it, and it has like the versus thing, and the levels have multiple playthroughs. You can do it, and you can unlock new stuff. Blah blah blah. It's a fantastic game. It looks gorgeous. It plays really well, especially for being just like literally a tap. Like it's one control tap, hold tap,
Mario
whatever.
Runs by himself.
Yeah, it's ideally they obviously made it for mobile, and they made it Nintendo style mobile, where they thought of a way to make it very easy to play on there, and I think that's terrific. But again, control scheme. So I would definitely invest in some kind of Bluetooth controller to play on my iPad or via my phone, even if it's like one of those ones you hold the controller. It has a Xbox style controller, and it has a little holder for the there. Yes, I would totally pay that $15 and then buy the controller. If Nintendo wanted to release a Bluetooth controller that would made it look like the NES controller but worked with your iPhone and iPad, yes, I would buy that for sure. Like,
I think I would too, actually. Yeah,
definitely. $15 is, I mean, over the years I've spent so much money on Zelda, The Legend of Zelda. I bought it. I guess really only twice technically. Originally on the NES and then on the Virtual Console. But the nice thing about the Virtual Console is it was playable without having to, make sure my fucking NES worked every time I put it in there.
Right.
It was digital. It worked. Obviously, it had save modes. The best thing about this, it had 3 save slots.
Yeah.
So you could actually multiple players could play it. Like my brother had his, I had mine. I could have a second one if we wanted to. But it was like it's Zelda's. If you ask me, Zelda is still the epitome of the classic video game.
Yes.
I know Mario is like everyone's. Oh, Mario. Zelda was what made me. I have it fucking tattooed on my arm, for Christ's sake. Zelda, to me, is what people need to strive to make video games like.
Right. And I'd have to agree, because you mentioned Mario, and it's like Mario's a great experience for sitting down and trying to get through something right away. It's much like Contra, but there's no save in it. Like it's one of those, you had 4 attempts to go through it. You initial life and then three lives and whatever bonus lives you get, and that's it.
Yep.
You waste them. But Legend of Zelda was more about the storytelling, and it allowed you to save. In fact, it was the first game that allowed you to save that actually had the battery built onto the things that it allowed you to make saves. Had a
battery built into it.
But it was kind of more of a look at what games can be and what future games will be, because it has the deep story and the backstory and the mythology, and it was long, and it was
especially for back then. Like even now, it's a long game, but I know
back
people
then,
beat it in hours, but that's because you memorize everything. But like, it's one of those things where like that was to me again the epitome of a video game experience.
Had like an RPG element to it too.
In a way, because you upgrade, like you got better stuff. Like you started with a wooden sword, and you eventually got the master sword, and you could shoot out of it when your health was full. And as you went through, you found
the white suit.
You found the different outfits, and you went up to the but you found heart containers to get more life, so you could last longer and do more damage and things like that. But like it was an adventure game.
Yeah,
because you went out and you had to go through temples and the dungeons and the castles, blah blah blah, and that sort of thing. It was just so much fun. And then, like I said, literally like that's the game that everyone should strive to make nowadays. And even Mario did it eventually with like Mario 3 had that sprawling had that world map you could look through to, and you can move left, go up to this level or to the right to this level or whatever, and then like Mario 64 had that same thing where like that gave me that same feeling, because Mario 64 is still one of my favorite games of all time.
It was a weirdly fun game.
Yeah, because it's different than Mario games, but it's not, because the playstyle is vastly different. It's open world. You can run wherever you want. If you want to go to the next level, that's not the next progression. It's not 1-2. It's you're going to 2-1 or whatever. You could do that if you wanted to.
Like you get bored and burnt out on one because you're just not being able to beat it. You can just peace out. And
and the thing about it was,
shit for a while.
Yeah.
Every time you went to a new world, it was a different world.
Yes.
One was like you run around and it had you went up. One you went for long ways. One was in ice. One was in water. Like the things. If there were different worlds, ghost world, blah blah blah. But it was like that was like this. Oh, this is what Mario needed in a way, because it's not just that regular side-scrolling playthrough. Because Super Mario World was up to that point one of my favorite Mario games, but not one of my favorite games. Mario 64 just blew the doors off of it because it was so much different, but felt like I was playing Mario. And they still, to me, Mario Galaxies was awesome. Galaxies 2 was all right. They just tried too much. Was not enough, really, if you ask me. Because it was just like, oh, now you have gravity and you can jump from small planets to big planets. And it's like, whatever. But I always go back, and not people play it, but Super Mario Sunshine was, to me, the next evolution of the Mario game, because it had that open world feel where I can run anywhere I want, but it had a new mechanic in it that changed Mario but wasn't that much different. But you didn't have fire flowers, you had just your water, so people were like, oh, it's not Mario. I'm like, well, go fuck yourselves, it's different.
It was fun.
But it was extremely fun game. But it just comes back to where it's Legend of Zelda was the invention of the wheel, but it wasn't the invention of the motor car. If you know what I mean. It was just another invention for something, but it revolutionized what a car could do.
Right.
And to me, Legend of Zelda revolutionized what video games could be and what they were at the time. And still, I mean, like I said, people should strive to make a game that good today. And it just, a lot of people have missed that opportunity. But I think I will pay $15 for that to play on my iPhone or my iPad.
Fair enough. You heard that, Nintendo? We will do it.
Yeah, bitches. Paid $10 for fucking a one-button Mario game. Give me a fucking 2-button Zelda game.
With next Mario games like an open world, just
it is
got missions and
next on the iOS.
No,
well then the Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey is supposed to be a sprawling open world game, but with different worlds you can go to.
So every time that I think of the Mario Odyssey, I keep going back to that weird Nintendo Mario game that they did, which was the Mario. Was it Doors? The one where he's going from physical real place to physical real place, and you learn about the different places, and you.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I actually had fun with that game. I cannot remember what it was. It was actually it is actually one of my favorite Mario games.
It's just not a Mario game.
It's not really a Mario game per
Mario,
se. It's super nerdy that I love it because it's actually like it teaches you stuff.
The learning game,
right? I honestly do want to see like some sort of callback to that in Odyssey, because it has it in some cases it does have that feeling to it.
Yeah, I'll show Mike the trailer after we're done.
All right,
so you can know what Odyssey really is. And the reason I was baffled by it when I saw the trailer, because he's running around in like what looked like New York City.
Yeah, it is definitely.
And it's like Mario, normal looking anime Mario with regular people.
Yeah,
but he's not like tall like regular people.
No,
he's Mario size. Like he looked like Furman running around in red and blue.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
because Mario's like same size as Furman, I'm guessing, to regular people.
That's dick, bro.
Yeah, but at least you have a good idea in your mind,
scale wise. You know, now you can picture it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm gonna show you the trailer and you'll be like, oh well, okay, obviously you're right, but I'm not gonna say it. Boom. Anything else? Anybody? Or
no, I think I had more
we're plenty.
Stuff,
we
but,
got some.
we're going too long. So
Mike's like falling asleep over there. Played some
Mike
Star
is
Wars.
seriously falling asleep. Yeah.
Good. Anything else? Anybody?
Nah, we're good.
All right. So if you guys didn't know, this comes naturally. We are.
Joe.
Mike.
I am Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Dun, 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 dun.